Y'all know my body. Look.
Call me Hokage, nobody could stop me, I'm toting forbidden juice. Say that I'm cocky and right, ain't no probably my confidence so fruitful. Get a grip, I'm the shit. Word of mouth, hit, came from yo chick. Call me Hokage, nobody could stop me, I'm toting forbidden juice. Say that I'm cocky, you right, ain't no probably my confidence so fruitful.
Alright, so what's good, everybody? Dame Stacks, the producer / videographer, and we're here with a simple video. Now, I don't want you to get out your pen and pad. This isn't necessarily a tutorial. Basically, I'm about to just edit a video and y'all gonna kick it with me while we edit. So, from the basics, the very start of what I'm doing here, this is just me laying the foundation. We're not gonna get too complex. I'm not gonna finish the entire video, but you will get a good idea as to how I start and how simple it can be if your scenes are shot halfway decent. So we might as well get started. As y'all probably know, the first thing you want to do is line up your audio. Now, Adobe has a very easy way of lining up audio as long as you had a Bluetooth speaker or something that was loud enough to actually capture it properly. So you want to throw all your clips in there like so. Once you get all your clips lined up that you know for a fact is a performance scene, and this is my bro Sean Bill's video we working with today, is like, yeah, so I ain't gonna give y'all too much sauce, but we definitely gonna get y'all on the right path. You want to right click the actual audio after highlighting every clip, and then you want to go to synchronize. That way Adobe will line the audio up for you automatically. This doesn't always work. Sometimes you will have to line a clip up yourself. It depends. Alright, so boom, you see that? Could not synchronize one or more clips in the current selection because a match could not be found. So that means that somewhere one of these are actually not a performance clip or the audio wasn't good enough. And I think we found the culprit. Alright, yeah, see. It's this one. It's just B-roll of him walking across the street. That's why I couldn't line that up, because it wasn't no actual audio. Alright, now, see this one is pushed all the way back right here? We want to make sure that that's lined up. It should be, but we want to be sure. You want to make sure all of them are lined up, because if your audio is off, your video looks crazy. But we're going to go ahead and play. Alright, so it's lined up. That little extra is where we had to start the song over. So this audio should be perfect.
I don't even know why y'all play with me, man. Y'all know my body. Look.
Nobody could stop me, I'm tooting forbidden juice.
Alright, so yeah. Now we got all our audios lined up. The next thing I do after I line up all the audio, now mind you, everyone's process is different. My process is never going to be the same as somebody else's. I do what's easy for me. There is no right or wrong way to do anything that you see us doing. But what I normally do is, just so I can get the white balance correct, is I'll go into my presets. Now, we're not going into presets and all that today. You'll see me use a lot of them, but that's a whole nother video. But I'm going to go into my presets, and I'm going to click one of my color grading presets, and I'm going to apply it. As you notice, it barely did anything. That's because I'm going to go back and fix that later. I probably won't do that in this video. But I apply it just so I can have the correct settings so that I can make the adjustments I need to. But let's get to it.
I don't even know why.
Now typically when it's the beginning of a video, it depends on how I want to carry things, but normally I'll try to find some of the scenes that I got as B-roll. So because he wanted to shoot at a store that's closed down, we got some good B-roll scenes at a store, you know, closed down basically. So we're going to use some of those to open the video. A lot of slow motion. Of course, to use slow-mo, right-click your clip, go to speed and duration, type in whatever speed you want it to be. Now, if you didn't shoot in 60 frames and you put it in slow motion, 50% or less, the clip is going to look choppy. The way to fix that is to go to optical flow when you're deciding how your time interpolation is going to be. If you leave it on frame sampling, it's going to look choppy. If you put it on optical flow, when you render the video, it will look extremely smooth. Now, it's not going to look smooth when I play it because I'm playing at 1/4 quality. And you also want to solo the song. You don't want the audio playing from the actual clips, of course. Alright. Got a little B-roll of the phone. We're about to catch a little segment of him walking now. Nothing too crazy. Alright, boom. So, when it comes to this, we ain't even gonna complicate it too much. Go from him walking.
I don't even know.
We're gonna put a quick speed up right there. You don't want somebody walking for 10 and 15 seconds at a time. But you do still want to capture everything you caught during that B-roll segment. So speed and duration, 1200. I know that sounds high, but that's what we're doing. Boom. And another thing I'm gonna do. This right here is something I feel like a lot of people should use. You can pick whatever brand you want, but 850 seamless transitions is the pack that I had bought. And it literally is what it's called, 850 seamless transitions. It gives you a whole bunch of presets that you can use for your video. I'll put a link in the bottom. But I'm about to use one of those transitions right now just to add a little spice to the way the clip changes. Nothing complicated, TV satellite effect. And it's literally as simple as drag and drop. That's why you need them, because they are very simple. Now, when you're using a preset like this one that's already made, sometimes it will come with an example video with it. So for example, if I click right here, as you notice, there's a bus, cars, things like that. It's showing you what the preset does, but it's showing you a clip of what it's doing on the preset. You need to delete that bottom layer. So after you drag it over, you delete that bottom layer, and now what you'll have is this. See how simple that was?
I don't even know why y'all.
And it isn't like it did a whole lot. All it did was just add a little bit of spice to the, you know what I'm saying, to the scene change. We're gonna do it one more time right here too.
I don't even know why y'all play with me, man. Yeah.
Alright, so because I don't like the fact that I'm so close to him, because I was using a prime lens, we're gonna go ahead and cut it right here. We're gonna find another B-roll clip to work with and keep it moving. Like, cause you don't want your video to be stale at no point. Alright, so we went and got a close-up on some of the signs on the door. Try not to have your reflection in scenes. That right there is definitely always in the way. Alright, so because I don't like those close-ups of the door, what we will use, though, is this close-up of his shoes. It could have been sharper, but that's a shutter speed issue that I should have fixed. Alright, that's perfect. So, drag this over, drop it down. We're going to use this one too.
Yeah, I know my body.
Now, we don't want it to take too long going up the side of his body. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, we're going to speed things up. Now, there is a better way to add the speed. It's called speed ramping. You're not going to see me do that in this video. It's a whole nother thing. I'll make a video about it, but I'm not using speed ramping right now. I'll probably use it in the final product, but not at the moment. So now this is what our beginning looks like.
I don't even know why y'all play with me, man.
I really don't like that one. Hold on right quick. So we about to make a little change to where these shoes are right here. Because that jerk not smooth. I don't like that jerk. Alright, drag that back some. We're going to drag the entire clip back some, because it's not using music, therefore it can't be offbeat.
Yeah, I know my body.
Then we're going to add a little slow-mo to this clip right here. That way it fills out until the beat drops. So, once again, speed 50, optical flow.
Look.
Now, right before that beat drop, we're going to use another transition. It's called a Luma fade. And basically what it does is it fades out the video clip and it shows what's underneath. So, we're going to throw Luma smoke right here. And this is basically going to fade the scene out that's over top of the one underneath it, and then we cutting into where he actually starts rapping.
Look.
Pause. Now, I would have paused it before then, but like I said, it's a rap song. We don't want no scene to be stale for too long. So the second he gets a whole bar out, it needs to be switching at that point unless it's something significant happens. Now, because I'm going to use cinematic bars, you may see me occasionally lower a clip down. That's because I'm going to put a black overlay over top of the top and the bottom. So I don't want his head to be cut off more than it has to be. So, let's get to it. The phone going crazy right now.
Yeah,
My bad, y'all.
Look.
Call me Hokage, nobody could stop me. I'm so.
Matter of fact, right there is where we're gonna cut it at instead. Now, about to teach y'all a trick. Masking. What we're gonna do is extend this clip back some. Alright. We're extending this clip back some because that's gonna give us the opportunity to use frame holds to actually make a dope effect. Alright, so boom. Now that I've drugged this back, I'm gonna go to the very end of this clip so that it's the start of the clip that's coming up. And I'm gonna go to frame hold options. When I click OK on frame hold options, wherever my marker is where that frame is gonna be held at for that video clip. So now that you've seen I clicked OK, when I back up, see how nothing's changing? It's stuck there. Now that it's stuck there, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our opacity, I'm gonna click the pen. This right here allows us to make a mask. This mask is what we're about to use to make a very simple effect. And because he's contrasted so well from his colors to the background, it won't be hard to do. We'll also be using After Effects, but when I really get to breaking that down, like I said, that'll be another video. So we're gonna mask him out like this. Like I said, this isn't nothing complicated. It's just something to add a little bit of spice to the next scene. And we're not doing a super good job because it really doesn't matter. It's gonna happen fast. It's not like it's a big deal. No one's eye is gonna catch it if I'm missing a corner of a shirt or something. So boom. See how when I finish the mask, everything around that mask disappeared? So now, you're gonna click your little clocks over here. See these right here? These are animations. You're gonna wanna make sure they're clicked. After you click your animations, I drag them all the way down, like that. I'm gonna move the feather a little bit too. And the reason why is because, you see, hold on, I'm about to show you what I'm talking about. I accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. See that little sharp mark on his head right here? We don't really want that. Adding a little bit of feathering will get rid of some of the mistakes that you make. You don't want to feather too much, but just enough to where things look smooth. But yeah, back again, drag him all the way down. Basically what that does is when I go to the end of this clip now, I'm gonna put him back in position. Meaning that where he was drugged down to, I'm gonna undo and he's gonna be back at the top. Because I clicked your little animation button right here and it actually alarms that little clock, now he's gonna do what I told him to do. So if you notice, alright, I gotta preset this in a way right quick. Don't make these mistakes, y'all. You won't have this problem because you won't have this preset, hopefully. But now look, see how he comes up into the scene like that? Nothing complicated, just something to make it a little bit more spicy. But look how slow he came up. We don't want that. Nah, we don't want that at all. So slide that forward. We want it to happen quick. That's better. Now, from this point on, we're just gonna keep moving along the song. Find it. Now, if you recorded B-roll specifically for certain segments of the song, then you'll know that and you'll know what needs to go where. But other than that, you just want to make sure that your video is not stale. So a whole bunch of different cuts. You want to have it splicing in between the different performance scenes that you have, but you got to do it in a way that makes sense. You don't want stuff that's out of focus, stuff that looks stupid, stuff that looks stale. Like, you know what is or isn't a good scene. So it's like, just play with it. Go back and forth, and as you see, I'm about to be quiet for a little bit, but that's what we're going to do. I'm about to try to get some progress going. We're going to try to make it to like the 45-second mark, and then we might call it a day. We'll see. Alright, so boom. Now, another thing, don't be scared to zoom in and out. Even if your scene may not be as sharp as you want it to be, sometimes something as simple as being zoomed in and then slowly zooming out can make the difference between what looks like a lame shot or a shot that's actually dope. So, in this case, zoomed in, zoom out. Now, see how easily that just made it look like a little more was happening? Now, another thing I like to do is bass bumps. I love playing with the bass bumps. Now, this isn't something mandatory. It's a preference of mine. Some people say it looks like too much is happening, but long story short is you'll have presets to where when the bass hits, you can make the screen jump. You can also do this manually just by using the scale. But I'm gonna use a preset and I'll teach you how to do it manually in another video. But here we go. Now you see how that was just simple, but it's hard. Now, once again right here, we're gonna use another mask. So Cut out the segment that I want, frame hold options. Okay, just like last time. Now, I'm deleting these level presets because they're preventing my mask from moving. Like I said, you shouldn't have those, so you won't have nothing to worry about. It's like, now this mask is going to be a little bit different. It's like, it's nothing complicated still. Same concept. We just about to go around him, but we're using the outlines of these red parts of the wall in order to give us, I ain't going to call it a box because it's definitely not a box. Oh man, my computer being annoying. 1 second, y'all. I hate it when that happens. Now, I should zoom in, but I haven't, so it is what it is. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a little more room to look at because I got my screen so small that it's kind of ridiculous. There we go. Alright, so now that you got your mask going, like I said, we ain't trying to be super neat with it because it's simple. Straight across the ground to this red line, straight up the seam, like so. Boom. Alright, now if this happens and it's not the way you want it, because this is what I'm looking for, but it's not the way I want it, just click invert, because this is what I'm actually trying to get. Alright, so you invert it, we're going to drag this scene up, because what I want is going to be underneath it. So once this is done, we can go to the start of this scene, click your animation preset, your animation clocks again, so that it knows you're trying to remember what it's doing. And then boom, something as simple as that, and then zoom in. And if he stays in a way like that, then zoom to the side. So now we got this. Now look, won't ain't that complicated or nothing. But it just adds a little spice to the video. Now, because there's a nice strong bass hit right there, we're gonna add a bass bump. Again. And then we're gonna lumifade this into the scene underneath it. Like I said, just to make sure the things look a little spicy. So, draw this one back. Pull this one forward, because I don't even know which scene this is. But, we're about to find out. I'm the shit. Hard. Alright, hold on. Pause. Alright, so, boom. I'm going to put a little slow motion on when he flipped his chain a little, because I like that. That was dope. I'm the shit. Now, right here, everything's going good so far. Once again, frame hold option. We're going to hold that frame. And like I said, we're doing basic edits right now. I'm going to spice it up for real later on tonight when I actually got to get him this product. But I just want to show y'all the basics of how you can take a simple video and make it hard. Now, hopefully your scenes are shot well, but you get what I'm saying. Now, this time, we're going to look for something that's nothing too complicated. I'm going to use this little small slither of this window right here. Boom. Invert. Now, basically, what we're going to do with this little small slither of a window is, you guessed it, we're sliding through that mug. So, boom. Now that your frames are held, click your little clocks. It's like you're going to zoom in all the way. Now, of course, your shot ain't going to be but so clean once you zoom in like that. That's why you want to move fast. So now, what do we have? Word of mouth hit. Hard. Now, for this word of mouth hit, we're going to do another simple effect. Nothing too crazy. We're going to take it, hold down Alt on the keyboard, left click it, drag it down, so now there's two of them. The top one, we're going to go to opacity, put it at 50. Alright, now the opacity is at 50, I'm going to right click it and I'm going to reverse this particular scene. Like I said, it's nothing crazy. Just making something that shouldn't be boring, less boring. Hey, came from your chick. Like I said, basic. I might make the opacity a little bit less than that because I really don't want it to obstruct the original one but so much. I just wanted to ghost across. The mouth hit came from your. Exactly. Alright. Now, here's where we about to do something a little bit different. If you don't have After Effects, you can't do what I'm about to do, unfortunately. But I'm about to pull out the After Effects for this one. Cut out the segment that I want to use. Alt, left click, drag it up. So now there's two of them. The reason why I do that is because the scene that I don't want the scene to change, but I want to add something to it. So now we're going to go ahead and add the After Effects. This might crash my computer, so keep that in mind. After Effects and Adobe are monster programs. They are annoying. They fail often. Be sure to save. That is a good practice. You want to save often. Alright. So, you gotta give it a couple seconds to boot up. In the project, anything, don't matter. I mean, that is a horrible practice. Don't do what I just did. But yes, right here, you got your roto brush tool. This is the layer that I want to work on. Like I said, we're not going into no in-depth After Effects tutorials right now. I'm going to very primitively draw the inside of him so that he stands out. And yes, I'm going to go back and fix it. Now, you see how I tried to put the... How can I explain this? How I tried to put the outline inside of him so that only the inside of him would have been outlined. It's always going to do what it just did. So you're going to have to come in here and fine tune it. Everything that you don't want inside the roto brush, you actually are going to have to come cut out. And you do that by holding down the Alt key and left clicking and then dragging along the areas you don't need. And Adobe is definitely going to try to help you, as you can see, and find the next point of contrast for it to lock to. So, and it definitely can get annoying. You can also get better results when you're doing this if you click right here, go to your effects, and then where you got your roto brush, click best, and then it'll handle it for you. Now, for some reason, my Adobe has some weird ass issue to where if I click play, it won't actually play through it. I'm pretty sure somebody out there got the simple fix. I actually have to click along the timeline to see if my roto brush is working correctly. And it's actually working perfectly because the window he was up against, the contrast was just excellent. It's like his red shirt stands out. Hold on, y'all. Holy shit. But yeah, as you can see, it's keeping a perfect outline on him. That will almost never happen. Unless you got a black shirt up against a white background, you're usually always going to have issues. The fact that it's not happening against this red right now is blowing my mind. It's like, or if your shutter speed isn't right and you got a scene that looks blurry like his hand. See how it didn't fill out around his hand because it can't really see it because the blurriness of his two fingers? It's like that can also happen too. Me personally, I'm not worried about that because by the time this effect is over, you won't even realize what just happened. So, I'm going to go ahead and hit the save because you always want to make sure you save or else they won't link properly. Now, when it comes back to the scene that's in Adobe Premiere, I'm going to go to my presets and I'm going to use two very simple presets that actually can be found for free. I'll leave a link in the description. You can use any presets for what I just did. Is like I literally am just trying to spice it up. It's like you can have him meld, you can have him turn into three people, you can have it's endless. But you'll see what I did in a second. It's gonna take a second for it to load because it's trying to push it through two programs. So we're gonna move past that and then we'll come back to it and I'll show y'all what that actually looked like. Now for this next scene coming up, I'm about to zoom all the way in on the mode sign so that I only see the mode sign, even though it's a little bit blurry. But I'm gonna zoom out as the scene is literally starting, so you won't notice the blurriness as much as the scene. It's gonna be a quick zoom out and zoom in. See? Simple. But we're gonna keep it moving. Alright, so another thing you can do if you have presets, which is simple, is just put them randomly throughout a scene that you actually don't intend to change yet. And I know that sounds complicated, but for example, alright, I have an adjustment layer preset right here. I'm gonna put it over top of this scene. So now this scene is gonna look like this. Now, didn't even look like I did much because I didn't, but you saw how hard it looked. Also, presets at the very end of a clip look dope also, even if it's only for a split second. Now, because this scene is so clean, my computer tripping right now, but because that scene right there that I just used is so clean, we're actually gonna let that one rock for a second. So say that I'm cocky, you right, ain't no probably my confidence so fruitful. Boom. Now we're gonna stop right there. So to stick with the theme of what we've been doing, we're gonna Luma smoke this one again so that it fades down into the scene underneath. Because when you use certain presets or effects, you want it to stick with a theme. You don't want things just haphazardly happening and all kinds of random shit everywhere. You literally want stuff that kind of, it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
The crib. I'm the shit.
Alright, so here's what we're going to do here. Because I was moving so slow and I don't like the way I shot that particular scene. We're going to do a little bit of fast pacing right here. And for no reason other than just so it won't be still. 1200. And cut to the scene underneath.
Shit. Word of mouth.
Now, I want the slow pan up from his shoes back up to his body. That's the reason why we just wanted to get that little bit out the way. So,
shit.
We're going right back to that same scene that I just fast forwarded through.
Word of mouth hit came from your chick.
Perfect. Alright, so yeah. Drag this back. And like I said, we're not doing a whole video. I just wanted y'all to rock with me for about 30 minutes, you know, so y'all can see how it is that I edit. So we're going to throw a couple more effects down here. We're going to render things down so that y'all can see what it should look like once I actually do click render. And then we'll be good to go. Y'all will know how I basically start my video process. It doesn't mean that's what I do every time, but for the most part, you'll get a good chance to see what I'm doing. So, file, save, sequence. You want to go to sequence, render, into out. The reason why you're doing this is because it renders everything in your video into out, whether it be effects or just a video clip in general. It does not matter. It's going to render everything. And that will allow you the opportunity to actually see what your video is going to look like without any skipping or messing up or anything along those lines. So every now and then, and I should have saved. I didn't save. I should have saved. But every now and then, though, you want to make sure that you render in the out and actually look at what you're doing. Because you may think you know exactly what you're looking at or what you got going on, but Adobe's weird. I'm trying to tell you. Because the whole concept of rendering videos is like, once you learn the basics, it's literally just up to you to be creative. Like, the rules are meant to be broken. There's no right or wrong way to do anything that you see us doing. It's like, so if you get in there, you get to tweaking with things, you start playing around, seeing what different stuff do, getting footage that you don't really need just so you can see how an effect may play out. That is your best bet at getting good. No one can teach you how to be creative. You either have to have it or you don't. It's like, and the best way to get creative is to make mistakes. So definitely don't ever try to copy and paste what you see people online doing. Get in there and make some mistakes. It's like, trust me, it's worth it. You definitely will understand what I mean once you actually start getting nice. That's for production, that's for rap, that's for videography, that's for anything, that's for art. Doesn't matter. It's for skateboarding, riding a bike. It's like, yo, new tricks ain't invented because somebody did what they saw somebody else do. Somebody had to go be different. But yeah, now we about to click play, give y'all a good idea of what this video would look like if this was it. Now mind you, this ain't it, it's gonna look different. But if this was it, what we got so far.
I don't even know why y'all play with me, man. Y'all know my body. Look.
Call me the cock, ain't nobody could stop me. I'm toting forbidden juice. Say that I'm cocky and right, ain't no probably my confidence so fruitful. Get a grip, I'm the shit. Word of mouth hit came from your chick. Call me the cocky, nobody can stop me. I'm toting forbidden juice. Say that I'm cocky, you right, ain't no probably my confidence so fruitful. Get a grip, I'm the shit. Word of mouth hit came from your chick.
Now, that's how you edit from an intro to the hook. You know, just quick little 40 seconds, you know what I'm saying? But long story short is that's how I get busy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even nothing complicated. It ain't nothing you gotta overthink. It's like, nah, I can really do some complicated edits, but that's for future videos. I have to make sure that this one right here is gonna get watched first. I don't want to do nothing that's pointless, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got free time. I got time and not free time. But long story short is like, comment, subscribe, come back for more. If I feel like y'all actually want to learn more, because I know I'm not the best teacher, but I try to be easy to understand. I definitely got you. I can really show y'all all the things that you'll need to know in order to at least get your basics done and start making some money out here. So you know what I'm saying? Tap in with me. Subscribe. It's DameStacks TV. Need a video, contact me. I'm all up and down the East Coast, but I do travel abroad. Y'all know what it is.